What up YouTube, I am your host ProfessorStix, back at it again with another Call of Duty Warzone video. Today we're going to be comparing the AMAX and the C58. We'll be looking at these stats. I'll be sharing with you guys the recoil pattern and the best attachments. We're going to find out if the C58 is the AMAX replacement. I think so. If this is your first time here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I make Warzone tips and tricks videos and I compare the best weapons in Warzone. Let's get into it. When we're looking at the weapon stats, the AMAX has an ADS speed of 279 milliseconds and a movement speed of 4.65 meters per second. The C58 has an ADS speed of 296 milliseconds and a movement speed of 4.78 meters per second. The AMAX has a reload speed of 2.25 seconds and a rate of fire of 630 rounds per minute. The C58 has a reload speed of 2 seconds and a rate of fire of 550 rounds per minute. Let's jump into the damage profile. The AMAX does 52 damage to the head, which means it's going to take 5 shots to down a fully armored opponent. The C58 does 59 damage to the head, which means it's going to take 5 shots to down a fully armored opponent. Now the AMAX chest damage was nerfed, which means that it now does 38 damage to the chest, which means it's going to take 7 shots to down a fully armored opponent. The C58 does 44 damage to the chest, which means it's going to take 6 shots to down a fully armored opponent. Now keep in mind, both of these weapons have a damage fall off, both at 25 meters. Let's jump into the TTK. If you're hitting all of your headshots, the AMAX is going to down a fully armored opponent in 381 milliseconds. If you're hitting all of your chest shots, it's going to down a fully armored opponent in 571 milliseconds. The C58, if you're hitting all of your headshots, will down a fully armored opponent in 436 milliseconds. If you're hitting all of your chest shots, it will down a fully armored opponent in 545 milliseconds. With the AMAX, you do need to hit 2 to 3 headshots to reduce your time to kill to 476 milliseconds. With the C58, you do need to hit 2 or 3 headshots to reduce your time to kill to 436 milliseconds. All right, let's get into the recoil pattern. All right, so as you can see with the recoil pattern, not much I'm going to say here. We're very used to the AMAX. We've been using it for quite some time here, and the C58 is pretty much vertical, not a lot of horizontal recoil. I don't use an underbarrel. If you feel like that horizontal recoil needs a little bit of tightening, you can go ahead and use the field agent grip, but honestly, I don't think it makes a big difference. All right, let's jump into the situational use. Now, both of these weapons excel at mid to long range gunfights. Excellent TTKs, however, they are not that forgiving. The rate of fire is very low, especially on the C58. The AMAX is a little bit better. So if you are still a fan of the modern warfare guns and you still want to use the AMAX, it definitely is viable. You're going to want to use it from mid to long range, nothing close range, because you will lose those fights because a lot of the other weapons do have a faster TTK and a faster rate of fire. Now with the C58, you definitely want to use that mid to long range. It can be used for close range, but I wouldn't use it as a primary close range weapon. I would definitely use it for long range fights and then pair that with a faster firing rate SMG or a sniper rifle of your choice. All right guys, let's jump into the attachments. All right, so for the AMAX, you're going to want to go with the monolithic suppressor, the Zodiac barrel, the Commando foregrip, the 45 round mag, and the VLK3X optic. And of course, you want to make sure that you add that reticle, the T-pose. Absolutely amazing. For the C58, you're going to want to go with the agency suppressor, the 18.5 inch task force barrel, 55 rounds of ammunition, the serpent wrap, and any optic of your choice. All right, so here are my final thoughts. The C58 definitely replaces the AMAX, and with that, honestly, the AMAX was one of the last viable weapons that we could use in modern warfare. There's only a couple other ones. So it looks like we're making that transition all the way to Cold War weapons. They did promise us some weapon balancing patches that will be coming soon. And so I'm hoping that with the reloaded season 4, we're going to get some new weapons to try out. It's going to shake up the meta a little bit. Hopefully, you know, the FAR gets nerfed a little bit. XM4 gets nerfed a little bit. I want to see how the QBZ does. Maybe some other SMGs kind of rising into the top there. We have a lot of options available to us. Let us use them, Raven Software. All right, guys, that's it for me. As always, make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so you can find your way back for more Call of Duty content. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.